others, do you ever feel like you have no inspiration, as if you have no idea what to create or even how? This video is about my thoughts on inspiration or a lack of it and how I counter it. So before I started to paint, I always thought that great masters only paint when they have inspiration, as if it is something utterly magical that flies into you when you need it the most. But then I started to paint, and I found out there are these days that you have just no idea what to create. There's no inspiration whatsoever, and at first I started to overthink it and I felt inadequate, as if my imagination isn't good enough or something like that. But I now know and understand that the moment you give in to this feeling, it will keep you from creating. I think it's a way your brain tries to stop you from doing difficult things. Your brain wants to go for the easy way. And it is like the law of action and reaction. If there is no action, nothing will happen. So, what have I learned to do? I learned to push myself through it. It feels uncomfortable, it feels very unnatural, but it is the only way to get yourself through this limiting belief pattern. When I'm thinking of not having any inspiration, it becomes a sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. You don't feel inspiration, you start to repeat it in your mind, and because of that, you will definitely get no inspiration. So, you give your inner critic the possibility to yell louder and louder, and the whole circle is complete. One thing for sure is that you will not get any inspiration by thinking you don't have it. So what can you do at these moments? I have several plans for those days and I will share them here. First of all, you can focus on your skills and techniques. You can start to look at how to create things in a technical way, how to make a stamp out of cardboard, or how to make a gel print, or maybe how to draw a bird. You can use different resources for this. You can have a look at Pinterest, but you also can get it out of a book from the library. I have a problem with words like that. And YouTube is packed with tutorials of any kind, of any subject. I learned a lot along the way. When you focus on a skill, it's reproducing something and you don't have to think of being inspired. And the good thing of learning new skills and techniques is that you can use these when you have inspiration. The second thing you can try is giving yourself the limitations of a prompt, a color scheme, or for instance a quote. It sounds a bit counterproductive to limit your range, but it's sometimes overwhelming to create something because of the fact you can create anything. I'm often like, oh, I can draw a chair, and then no, not a chair. Oh, I can draw a bird. No, not a bird. Things like that. But if you use prompts or you use three colors that you want to use, then you are limiting, and it's way more easy to create things. So you can look at Instagram. There are many challenges out there, and within the challenges they often give you prompts, or they let you search for things or use your stencils or anything like that. You also can have a look at Pinterest. That's also a great source, especially for prompts. And I love how many uh, color combinations they have. It's really fun. So you can have a look at that too. And of course, you can find on the internet a lot of ways to find quotes and that kind of stuff. So the last thing I do is kick myself in the bum. Yep, I push myself through it and I push myself to go to my desk and create something. And because I don't feel like it, often it turns out that it isn't the amazing art I wanted to create. But it's also just the fact that you do it, and by creating, you are learning, and you always have to remember there are good days and there are bad days in anything you do. These 3 tips are always working for me. I also know that if I don't take any action, it can accumulate, and it won't just, and it can become not only 1 day but 2 days or even a week, and I'm scared that it will turn into a month or even into a year, and I end up feeling that I can't paint or draw or create. The fun thing is that when you start to focus on a new skill, a prompt or a quote, the moment you do that, there is a kind of a shift in your mind. Everything starts to move. It is the law of action and reaction. So as soon as it starts to move, things are getting in a different perspective, and you start to attract ideas, and you don't longer want to procrastinate taking action. The last thing I would like to add is that it's also good to keep your overall goal in mind. For me, it is that I need to create to feel good or to feel better. My mood increases and I feel way more happier than when I don't create. So the feeling of not having any inspiration is a very nasty feeling, and I am always scared that it will kill my creativity. But when it happens, I will have to be aware that in order to feel like I feel now, I need to take action. Not finding any inspiration for making art can also feel like a struggle, but when you take it as a commitment, then it is a whole different way of looking at it. I see it similar as taking my medicines or things like that. I need those to feel good, and I need art to feel good. You can do the things you need in order to make things better overall in your life. When I started this journey, I would have never thought that this would become such a profound part of my daily life. That's what keeps me going. Is it easy? No, not every day. But the ultimate goal is feeling better and feeling good and being able to fight my daily struggles in a and art is a necessary part of my existence in order to keep me mentally healthy. That is why I started this journey, and that is also why I film all my escapades in my studio, because I want everybody to start to look for a creative outlet in any way. Not for the sake of the beautiful art, which I'm sure you will create, but for the sake of feeling better. That's why I'm showing you my art. Not to show it off, but just because I want to be an inspiration to get you going and moving, and to feel the joy and fun, as well as the healing of your soul and the ease of your pains. even if it is only during your creative outlet, even if it is just for that single moment of your day. Remember, it's not about what you create, it is the process of doing it. Well, that was a very long story for my for me, and at last I would like to wish you a wonderful and inspiring day. Keep those hands moving and the paint flowing, and take good care of yourself. A big hug from me, and bye bye for now.